Irit Umani is with us today. She is the executive director of the Trinity Center here in Austin. Irit, welcome to the show.
Thank you for inviting me. What an honor.
Oh, yeah, thank you. So tell me, tell us about the Trinity Center. Tell us about what it does today.
Okay. So Trinity Center is a day center for people who are homeless in downtown Austin. And it was created by St. David Episcopal Church as its own nonprofit. So we bring our own revenue, but the church hosts us and give us a whole lot of in-kind, like our space is free and our overhead is free. And across the street from us is the hub of services to the people who are homeless in Austin. 2 shelters, a soup kitchen, many of the services. So people at the church said, I think we listened to the gospel in the last few Sundays, and it tells us to treat each other kindly, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, take care of the sick, be kind to one another, be loving.
It's like shocks people, right? It's like the biblical mandates that we know and we're supposed to live into. And in fact, I was reading in one of the documents that you said that your work is based on and stems from a spiritual commitment of service.
That's correct.
What a beautiful way of looking at that you're not just doing it for the glory, but it certainly comes from a place of spirituality.
Yeah, my own spiritual path is a commitment to serve the so-called less fortunate. And I feel very fortunate to do that because as much as we give, we also learn. We are kind, people are kind back to us. Their level of faith is quite amazing. I'm not sure I would survive what they survive, and yet they're faithful.
Yeah.
And we give them church on Sunday, and we feed people every day, and we give access to computer and to phone, and we are the mail address for about 1,000 people, and many things that we do. Case management is possible if the person is ready to move on. They're accepted whether they're ready to move on or not.
Yeah.
And I understand, I come from a Jewish background. My accent is Israeli.
Okay.
And as was Jesus.
I could tell that it wasn't from Texas. I could
It's
tell that it was a
not.
little bit different than a Texan accent. I could
You're
tell.
right? And I'm not yawling people.
Y'all.
But
Actually, could you say y'all to me, please? I just want to hear you say it.
Y'all.
Y'all. There you go.
Y'all.
Thank you.
Here
thank
we
you.
go. I had to adjust to the accent.
To being
and one
here.
of my jokes when I moved here, I said, finally, I'm in a place where I'm not the only one with an accent. Right?
There you go. Perfect.
However, it's about serving. It's about walking the talk, walking the walk, doing what all traditions are telling us to do. Be kind and serve those of you who are in need of service. And if nothing else, you really get to understand you plenty when you live every day with people who are homeless.
Yeah.
You come from a comfortable home, and you open the door, and the people you serve have slept on pavement. And if they're lucky, they got a bed in shelter. So you don't question gratitude. You're just simply grateful. And you do what we are told to do by all traditions. You know, the Dalai Lama says his religion is kindness. I think that was, I think he's in good relationship with
I think Jesus would totally agree, absolutely.
Right?
That
They're
Jesus
right
would
there
be about
together.
love and about how do we work on this together.
Yeah.
Because, it's interesting. I was talking about this with the presiding bishop yesterday in our conversation, and I asked him the question, we talk about love, and love can become so trite because it's just a feeling. Oh, I love you today, but tomorrow, if you didn't bring me my Skittles candies, then I don't love you.
Yeah.
Whereas what you're talking about is
much deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's like seeing everybody as my brother and sister.
Amen for that, yeah.
And seeing that if I'm able to help, I should. It's not, it's like, it's very nice, and, it's like when I came to this job, I was pronouncing myself as a Jubu, a Jewish Buddhist.
A Jewish
and
Buddhist?
And then after like 2
a
years...
Jubu? Did you call it a Jubu? It sounds like a candy.
And after like 2 years, a director at that time, David Boyd, said to me, I think by now you're a Jubopelian. And why I'm telling you this story is because all traditions are teaching us to help, to see the suffering around us, to alleviate suffering, to be activists when we see injustice, to work for peace, to work for, again, feeding the hungry, but loving the hungry.
And that, I'm so glad you put it that way, because that's a step further, right? There's a difference between giving someone $1 at the ramp to the highway,
right,
and saying, "Ooh, I'm glad I'm there, but for the grace of God, save people," right? Which I think is awful theology. But to say that and then just drive off, and there's a difference between looking them in the eye and saying, "I'm sorry, could you give me your name so that I can pray for you?" Could we? Because you're humanizing them.
Could we be in community?
Yes.
It's not just, can I pray for you? Can we pray together?
Amen. Yes, absolutely.
There is no difference in the eye of God. And if anything, God would ask us to be more compassionate to the people we serve at Trinity than to each other who are able and have family. Because you think about it, every person on the street who is homeless have family somewhere. But they're totally cut off from the family, and otherwise they wouldn't be on the street.
Yeah.
We become their family.
And their
we
community.
become their family and their community, and a place where they're accepted. Less judgment, more acceptance.
Yeah.
Less judgment, more compassion. That's what we are about. That's what St. David Episcopal Church is about. Good for them for starting it.
Indeed.
Good for them for looking at the people across the street where many places would shoo them away. Mm-hmm. And this place says, not only are you welcome, but we are creating a space for you.
Wow, yeah.
Where you can be outside of this harsh summer environment of freezing temperature in the winter. Here is your community, and we are in it with you.
And I understand that the center does feed the homeless as well.
It feeds, it gives access to shower to women, it gives clothes, it gives access, as I said, to computer, telephone, mailing address. We pay for lost ID. It's like people in the street.
Oh, so if they don't have an ID, they can't.
They lose it a lot. If they don't have an ID, they're nobody to the system. We pay to reestablish their ID from birth certificate, from whatever state, to the local ID.
And again, these are things that we would so take for granted. We wouldn't think about. Like an ID is such a hindrance.
And you lose yours, you go there because you have the $20,
Correct,
right? That person doesn't, so we cover that cost.
How many customers do you see for lunch when you're feeding the homeless?
We feed about 100 people each morning.
Oh, God bless you.
Yeah. Well, there is need for more.
And
but that's our capacity. We do our best.
And do you also, I'm guessing just from what you've told me so far, that it goes beyond just feeding them a meal. It goes and providing them a space. It goes to, it's about being
case
present with them.
And case management for those who are ready to move on. A lot of collaboration with the agencies that do house people. But the heart of the place is what speaks to me, is why I think this is the best job I've ever had.
Tell me about that.
It really is there is a level of compassion there. There is a level of being in relationship with the people. It's not we serve you because we are the have and you the have not. We are in it together. We are a community together. And that's the part that's transformative.
Yeah.
That's the part that because when I give that $1 in the intersection, I look at the eyes because I know better, because I know they want human contact more than they want my $1.
Wow, what a and when you say that that's what's transformative, it's not transformative so much for the person being fed as much as it is for the person that's doing this.
It's for everybody.
It is. It's something.
Yeah.
And St. David's, it's not too far from the convention center here in Austin, right? It's like right down the street.
2 or 3 blocks down the street. Come visit.
you got the invitation right here. So tell me when you're doing this work, because I got to ask you, you said something at the beginning of our conversation. You said the so-called less fortunate. Talk more about that with me.
Because I'm not clear what is the fortune of life. Is it more material
Possessions?
goods, a bigger house, a better pool, the best neighborhood, or is it the quality? Is it the walk toward God? I'm on a path, God help me, ever closer to Him or her, to that quality of love and acceptance. That to me is the path. And why I call less, the so-called less fortunate is because once in a while, the level of deep faith that I hear from the people, I don't know that I would have it if I had those circumstances.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
that
an
I
interesting way
would
of
lose
looking at it,
faith,
yeah.
right? And once in a while a person would stand up. We have a devotional moment every morning. Once in a while, one of the people would do the devotional, just get up and sing, or the small notes of thank you that we get. That's my fortune.
Oh.
That's my fortune. Those relationships, this moment of at-one-ment. There is no separation between you and I. We're two people. We are doing our best, and we're coming closer to God if we pay attention and if we do His gospel. It's simple, actually.
I think your rector was right. You are turning into I'm sorry, it was a
Jubupelian.
If somebody, so we have a few thousand people here at the convention center, and somebody does go and visit you. Is there an opportunity for them perhaps to help you out in some way? Is there an opportunity for them just to be present?
Well, we run the whole center with 4.5 position, just 5 people working.
Less than 5.
That's
people.
because almost all Episcopalian churches in Austin are volunteering with us. We have like an army of volunteers. So during the convention, people are welcome to visit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we'll have something to have their hands on.
But even to just see it, because maybe it's something they want to take back to their own church, maybe.
Yeah, and I want to say that my belief is that a church that doesn't have some ministry to immigrant, the poor, sick children, sick elderly, something, right, are not listening well.
Yeah, they may have missed a little something in the gospel.
Something
right?
is missing there.
Yeah.
So if anybody get inspired enough to go to their downtown church and say, I want you to do something like Trinity Center and the St. David Episcopal Church are doing, I'll come and share with them.
Oh, that's a generous offer from
how
you.
to do that.
Yeah, that's a very generous offer.
Well,
because
and I mean it, because I think that's the flowers of the church. That's the garden. And I want to see many gardens and many orchards. I want to see what we're doing in its own form in every church.
And is this something that has already been sort of copied in other places? Have people already come to you and said, hey, teach us, you seem like you're doing it really well. Could you help us? What would be the first steps? Is that something you could do, you could help them with?
No, and to stay humble, we're not the only church in the world doing something like that. Other churches hear the gospel and do things. There is a lot happening in Austin. Austin is a place with quite a lot of people of faith that are looking to how to help. But what I'm saying is we would like to mushroom. We would like to be copied in other places.
What a wonderful sentiment that is, to be able to want to replicate this great work.
Yeah.
Now, is it possible that in the future, as you look ahead, that you might be able to expand your capacity and be able to help more people? You told us that the demand is greater than what you're able to do.
Well, the number of people that we can serve has to do with the capacity of the room we have.
Oh, okay.
And we're trying to push the walls and push the wall, but the walls are not moving. In our strategic plan of Trinity Center that we just completed, one of our goals is to go to other places and teach, share with other places of faith and have them start their own ministries because more is needed. There's no question about that.
And I'm guessing, considering the fact that you're Jew-Boo-Palian, I'm going to get that
Yeah.
eventually. By the end of the convention, Jew-Boo-Palian, I'm going to have a bumper sticker for
Yeah,
you.
right.
Jew-Boo-Palian. I'm guessing that, of course, you do not check, ask, or care what the religious affiliation of the person is
No,
who
we
comes
don't.
in to
And
get.
not only that, within our space, there is a small chapel where a person can get outside of the hustle, bustle of the big room and just have a moment of meditation or reflection of just some quiet time.
Oh, that's.
And it has symbols of all traditions.
Oh, okay.
Just so that a person who speaks Hebrew and their Torah is their faith can find the Torah there, and a person who reads the Quran can find that there, and other faith, because I think those are different paths on the same mountain.
Yes.
And at the
I-
very
you and I
top
agree
of
on
the
that.
mountain, you know, we all meet.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like a just wonderful ministry that you're doing there. I know that I can say, we may not agree with much at convention about our rules and this, that, and the other, but I'm sure that I speak for all of the Episcopal people who are in this city right now when I say, may God bless your work. May God continue to bless your work and you for doing it.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for
much.
doing that.
Thank you.
So-
It's my pleasure, and it's quite a gift.
And Irit, thank you so much for being with us here today. It's been, you're such a calming presence also. It's a really, just being near you is kind of like, I
I'm
would say
blushing.
I would say it's kind of like being near the Buddha, but it's more like being near the Jewish Episcopal Buddha. So
It's all of it, yeah.
all of it is good.
All of it is good.
Irit, thank you so much for joining us.
And God bless you too.